Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Aaron with HEX Life and Style. I want to say thank you. Episode 1 was a huge hit. Our interview with Scott Hatton gets more and more views each day. So, what we want to do is we want to keep this train rolling. The idea is to bring some form of content or an interview to you all each week. In episode 2, I interviewed Trent Bruner of Nicely Threaded Thrift. Trent's been in the game for a while and he gives a lot of good knowledge about the vintage industry. Now, I will warn you, the audio quality and the video quality is not the sharpest. However, the content is great. So grab a drink, sit back, and enjoy my interview with Trent Bruner of Nicely Threaded Thrift. Okay, I think we're on. So I'm with Trent Bruner of Nicely Threaded Thrift. Trent, what's up, man?
Not too much, man. Just chilling.
Are you? So how's this new way of life, the quarantine life treating you?
um, I mean, man, for most of us, it's a challenge in some way, but I'm just kind of I'm taking it real easy, like most people. But I'm also preparing for the worst. We'll
Yeah,
just say that in every case that I can, even trying to eat better, which that isn't actually happening too much right now. I'm eating a lot of trash. So
that's the way I was. I mean, week one, I was working out every day, running and trying to get healthy and eating healthy. And now it's just kind of like I'm grabbing anything I can find to eat and drink. And rather than run in the afternoon, I'm grabbing a
yeah,
bourbon around 4:30 every day. So it's not great, but hopefully we just got a couple more months of this. I'd say the hardest thing for you has been the Goodwills and the bins and all of that being closed.
yeah, yeah, definitely not being able to source is it hits hard. Most people are feeling that. But I mean, I'm consistently uh, search, searching and getting better product daily as well. I have my ways, so I'm
Yeah,
not I'm not too discouraged by that just yet. I think that if that lasts much longer, we're going to see it. That's going to be a lot worse than it is right now. It's just right now. It's just kind of like, man, that sucks. But if it really, all this stuff just sticks and becomes, our everyday reality, and we're closed off from so many different things, that's what we're really gonna feel that, especially this community, the
oh
vintage
yeah,
community.
yeah, man. I mean, let's just like I said, let's hope that it comes back here in the next couple months and people kind of come out of their homes hungry to hit the restaurants and hit the economy hard. The one thing I'll keep thinking about, it's promising for me from a thrifting standpoint at least, is all these people that are in their homes right now cleaning out closets, doing that spring clean thing. Can you imagine what's going to be at the Goodwills and all the thrift spots? It's going to be
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Let's hope so. That hopefully that's a major comeback for the whole community, for people that want to sell their stuff, people that are just getting rid of their stuff. Because we'll
Yeah,
be happy to take it. That's for sure. I'm always looking, always obviously because of what's going on right now, always looking to buy. So
yeah, yeah.
people people definitely need to know, and I know you're going to ask me this eventually. Long sleeves,
Long sleeve. That's what you collect, right?
yeah, especially if they're grails. I did a top five the other day, and wasn't really wanting to do all that, but ended up showing a couple of my long sleeves off, and just posted one today. So just got a new couple of them actually.
I've
Couple of them.
always been a long sleeve guy. I like the crews. I like the t-shirts. I just prefer the t-shirts. Oh, did you pass that on?
Yeah, this thing.
There you go.
Yeah,
No, I love the long sleeves. I mean, that's that I don't know. I've always kind of been that way. I like the long sleeves. I even wear them. I even sport them in the summer some if it's not real hot. But
I'll be,
so let's
I'll
jump
be.
into that. Let's jump into that. So let's talk to a little bit about kind of how you got into thrifting and the vintage scene, and talk a little bit about kind of your collection. So just kind of start us out. When did you get started, and kind of what led you into it?
So how it got started for me was I grew up. I had a I got a lot of things that I wanted. My family wasn't rich by any means, but I was able to have a few nice things growing up, and uh, I kind of prided myself on that because my parents worked really hard for that, and it was something that it was a privilege, And as I grew up, I wasn't able to, you know, provide for myself in the way that my parents did, and went through a lot of, you know, I call them small challenges. To most people, they're probably way bigger than they seem to me. But I just I got to where uh, I was trying to I was trying to keep along the way that I knew, which was get nicer things and whatnot. Well, uh, when I got out of college and I started kind of making my own money, and just the more money that I made, I was able to go out and kind of splurge a little bit, which was something obviously I wasn't I wasn't always used to as I got older, because at a certain point my parents, I don't think they didn't really cut me off, but you know what I mean. I just, you know, 20 years old, my dad wasn't buying me shoes anymore.
Yeah.
Well, growing up, I wasn't able to buy Jordans and certain, uh, you know, I guess higher ticket items, because just this is something about who I am as a person. Like, I would have felt bad asking my parents for $200 shoes. And so as I aged and wasn't able to buy, or was becoming more able to buy those kind of things, I started to get them. Uh, and I just started collecting the old Jordan 5s and a few other things that I just never had before. And that was just like a few years ago. And I was just finding them on um, offer up and whatnot. And then I started flipping them. So I figured out that, I could wear a pair of shoes and then end up flipping them.
Yeah.
And so I'm over here trying to save money. I'm balling on a budget, man, like slowly building an empire. And, every day, I just had to keep, you know, saving money basically. And so it got to where thrifting for anything was the answer for me, because I'm a person who, I like my style. I like to look good. I like to look the way that I want to look. Um, and I ended up uh, you know, looking for wardrobe in, places, secondhand stores, Goodwills, whatnot, just to save money. And I started seeing that a lot of the stuff that I was finding was seen as dope to the younger kid. And
Mm.
how that happened was I got on Poshmark, and I was like, well, if I can't find it at Goodwill, because I had a particular eye that I was looking for, something that I wanted to wear. I said, if I can't find what I'm looking for, I'm just going to go on Poshmark or Depop or whatever. And I found Poshmark first, and that's how that happened. I started seeing that a lot of the stuff that I was either finding or not picking up was worth lots of money. I had no idea that this community was what it was, and I don't think it was near as big as it's becoming. But uh, I just looked at that and was like, there were kids that were way younger than me selling clothes that I wore as a kid, and I
Yeah.
was just like, that's something that I'm gonna have to get into. I'm gonna, I knew that was something that I was passionate about, was clothes. I've always, like I said, kept a wardrobe, even though I also thrifted, and I wasn't doing it to be cool at all. I was doing it because I had an image that I wanted to keep, and I had to save money. So I was not going to be going to the mall to buy a bunch of stuff that I knew I was going to be donating in a few years.
Yeah.
And so that's how it started. I flipped the Jordans, and then started finding clothes, t-shirts, and the t-shirts didn't even really come until after I found some really dope, like striped button ups, and stuff that the kids really really love that shit. Well, I got that, and started seeing that I could flip those for 30 something bucks, whatever. And then it became a daily thing where I was finding better stuff, just kept finding really good stuff, and was like, but this stuff isn't really the vibe I'm trying to bring, like for
Mhm.
whatever reason, because we were in Lexington. For me, I just, found a bunch of stuff that really I wasn't passionate about. So I'm a guy that believes in, you kind of just create it as you go. And
Yeah.
I just kept bringing people what they liked until I was able to bring what I wanted to, which I feel like at this point I'm bringing a lot more of what I want to bring to the table, to Instagram and whatnot. The vibe is a lot different than when I first started for myself, and
Yeah.
and yeah, yeah,
I think that's you said it perfect, man. I mean, getting into this and the hustle behind it and realizing that you can, find stuff that other people want and get it out there in front of them. That's I mean, I think that's the key. At the same time, being able to find kind of your own wardrobe, get it, wear it for a little bit, and then, sell it when you're done with it. That's kind of the beauty of all this.
yeah.
But
Dude,
you know,
that's how it's
you
fun.
mentioned something. You mentioned something that I struggle with in all of this is I really buy to my taste a lot, and so I've had to kind of switch that a little bit and kind of buy to both, buy to what my tastes are and what I enjoy and what I like and what I want, but at the same time, bring stuff in that appeals to obviously the people that are buying the clothes, a lot of the younger kids and things
Yep.
like that. So that's been an
Because
interesting
that is what
challenge
it's
for me.
about. Because that is what it's about. But at the same time, I believe in this is such a, man. I hate to sound all like that, but just it is, it's art. It's self expression. It's something that a lot of industries don't have, and we're bringing something that not only we, like you said, we want to bring it, and it makes us feel good to put it out there, but there is someone out there that is going to receive it almost just as well as we are, if not more.
Yeah,
I think that is the key to what we're doing. Find that, like you said, that middle ground, but at the same time, like, I think the first thing, to be honest with you, is do or put out and do what you're trying to do, and then
yeah,
the people need to be there are going to show up, and they're going to take and receive it well.
yeah.
I think that's the plan, really. That's what I've been doing.
I
it's
hope
more
so. I
it's
mean,
more
the
of my
idea
experience.
behind what's that?
Yeah, it's more of my experience than the customers, uh first and foremost, but that doesn't mean that I'm not very passionate about bringing my customers exactly what they're looking for, and you know what I
Yeah, yeah.
mean.
Well, let's dive into that a little bit more. So you talk, with kind of everything that's going on and kind of the unknown over the next few months and possibly years to come. What's your outlook, man? Where do you see, this this kind of this has been going on for a while, but you've really started to see an explosion around 2018, early 2018 time frame into 2019. It's gotten bigger now that
Yeah.
all this has happened. What's going to go on with kind of the vintage scene, the thrifting? What are some trends that you see maybe coming up?
um so, man, there are a lot of trends that aren't here yet, and I don't want to throw that game out there just yet, just in case, others might not be on that wave. But um, uh, I think that, like I said, if the reality stays what it is, the vintage community is going to get somewhat discouraged at a point. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that we can, keep getting stuff, and um, everybody just stays on their, positive, positive grind, just
Yeah,
putting positive out in the community, no matter what it is, any kind of content. If you can't find the dopest piece, of the week or whatever, just keep bringing what you want, and what, like I said, um, what makes you feel like, you have a purpose in what you're doing. So, I just think that, the more that we do that, focus on doing that we can override all of the, oh my god, I can't, I used to find a grail every day kind of thing mentality, whatever. That's what's gonna be changed about all this, is that you're gonna find out who's really passionate about what they're doing. You can't really fake it at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and I think we'll see that, and I think we'll really start to see too. I mean, we've kind of so so many people have built this type of following and this type of thing, and they've kind of dictated what the price of something will go for or sell for, or what the value of something is. So I
Yeah.
agree with you. I think you'll see a lot of these people kind of maybe fall off and say, okay, we need to focus more on school or college. Some of these younger kids, maybe, uh,
Hmm.
and not so much the entrepreneurship of it, or trying to,
Hmm.
sell a piece here and there to make a little beer money. I think you'll
Hmm.
see the true people, the people who are really into this and kind of live this and created that lifestyle, will definitely grab on to, what they've been doing. But I also think you'll see the value of things go down significantly, which
Yeah.
I think might be a little bit of uh, more of a realistic view of kind of what things are valued at and what people have.
Um,
I talked to
yeah.
a couple people about, I think it's obviously it's whatever it speaks to you. Like, I mean, this T-shirt I have on, I got this in 1992. I bought it for my mom, actually, at Wimbledon. I was fortunate enough to go on a trip. I bought this for her. She's passed, so I get to carry this on. So things like this has no value to anybody else, but to me, it tells a story.
Yeah.
So that leads me into one of our first conversations. And when we first met, you were wearing a Hank Senior T-shirt. Tell that story, because that story is kind of crazy, and it kind of ties into what we're talking about people finding stuff or having something they don't even know really what it is, but yet they sell vintage and are in this world, but they don't really know what they have or what things really are.
Yeah. So, and that's a whole nother part of the game, is that those people have no idea how much joy they're bringing to us and to our customers. You know what I mean? And what they're actually a part of. And that's something really special. And honestly, like, I wish there was a way that we could tell these people, to return the favor. Some of these people, especially if you like buy them out in a hall or something, and they're just a collector, or they're just an older cat that just was sitting on a storage unit or whatever. Like, that person, we need to go above and beyond to let those people know how special they are to us. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I think that's something that we clown on people. We like to say they don't even know what they got, or I got this for, I lowballed them for $1 on a fucking uh 3D emblem or something, just something that's just, I don't know, man. I'm not the type of person that's going to do that. I want that person, regardless of how much knowledge they have of the community and what we're doing with vintage. I'm going to give them an idea of what they have. I'm going to give them what it's worth. I'm going to give them, what I can give them to show them that I appreciate that. And
yeah,
uh, I think it's great that we look for snipes and try to get those scores like that. That's cool and all, but we definitely don't need to be uh, belittling these people in any way, because in a large part, they're the reason, they're the lifeblood behind what we do.
oh,
Those I guess you call it naivety or ignorance, whatever, or just not caring. They don't. Some people don't even care that we're going to go make $1,000 off that T-shirt. They say it was too much work, or whatever it was.
yeah.
So, but
I
I can't
mentioned the
remember.
Hank T-shirt,
Yeah.
man. You got to tell that story. So
Oh,
that's a good example of what you're explaining right now.
yeah, yeah. So, um, but this kid, was trying to get a start in on Instagram selling, or he'd already been, or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how many sales he had or whatever. At first, I was really worried because he didn't hit me with a tracking number right off the top, and a few things were just red flagging me throughout the whole transaction. But how it started was I got on Instagram. Dude, I've made some really good Instagram. I don't even want to call them snipes. They're just scores. You know, a lot of them I didn't lowball anybody. They provided me the price and I paid it, and a lot of times it was way lower than it should have been. And in this case, uh, I got on Instagram one day and a guy just threw up just this beautiful picture of this white tee. And I'm really into white tees, and I've been looking for good white tees. And this was, I think it was year and a half ago, and it just popped up on there, and I saw it, and I almost didn't even think anything about it. I was just like, Hank, awesome, because at the bottom of the shirt it says Hank. I'll show it to you here in a minute because I actually brought it out here because I knew you were gonna bring that. Uh, it said Hank on the shirt. I saw like this kind of like emaciated looking person, didn't even register yet. And then I went into the comments because there was a couple comments after it because the guy was like, anybody know any information who this is or whatever? And I knew it was Hank, and I wasn't sure if it was Hank Senior yet or not. And I had to do a little research, but this chick in the comments put that's Hank Senior, and I it just all clicked for me. I was like, that is a Hank Senior piece from the '90s. Like it was just so good. I got there, made sure I approached that dude the right way. Told him, I told him what he had. I was like, man, you didn't even really know what that was, but I knew exactly what it was. And when I saw the words, I knew that it was one of the Hanks, and that's what I wanted. I wanted a country music tee like that. I just told him, I said, man, I'll either pay you 100 or I'll find something to trade you. And he's like, man, let's just do a trade. I was like, because I didn't know how much that T-shirt was worth. To this day, I'm gonna establish the value on that piece.
Yeah.
But at the time, he was basically like looking for $120 trade, basically, or so. It was like a $120 trade, and I ended up trading 4 like mid pieces that were all like $20 a piece. Trade them all for that one, and he didn't hit me with tracking number for days or whatever. And then finally it showed up, and I nearly dropped to the floor, man, because it's one that I could feel like I could go my whole life without finding another one of those, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's when I first met you and saw that shirt and we were talking about it. I just was, of course, again, you kind of set the value of what it means to you, I would think. But when that's definitely when you're ready to sell that or let go of that one, you make sure you contact me because I definitely want that one. I don't even know if it's my size, but that's one I would definitely like to
Yeah.
have in my collection. So
It would definitely be a sleep shirt for you.
yeah,
It would
yeah,
be one. It's a freaking 10, damn near a 10 on me. It's a
yeah.
big one, which is awesome, because they're so hard to find in your size when you're this big. When you're
Oh,
a big
yeah.
guy like me.
Well, I
But
mean,
I did,
too. I mean, it could go on the wall for me, and it would still
yeah.
have the same
You,
meaning. I mean, a lot of
you
those
probably
shirts are like art.
you probably want to frame it, to be honest with you. It's just so tattered in the right places. It's
Yeah,
got the rugged neck all the way up, dude. It's just, I love it. And
yeah,
I don't even know. It might have been so Hot Topic 96, 7, whatever. Who knows? But
yeah,
it is single stitch. Um, it's not extremely old, but it's definitely a coveted piece for me.
yeah.
Uh, but the rest of the story that I knew that you wanted to tell me, hold on a second, or you wanted me to tell you, somebody's going by right now. And that's a tractor.
There's a
Yeah,
tractor.
that was the tractor. So, yeah. Uh,
Is it your? It's
so
probably your family. Are they
the
coming up
rest of
for
the story,
dinner?
no, man, I'm quarantined by myself at my parents' house. I'm house sitting in Indiana.
Yeah, yeah,
Been here, yeah, since I left Lexington 7 months ago.
yeah,
But to finish that story, the coolest part that I think that you wanted me to tell everybody is that when I got a hold of him, he had posted it, and he told me like right away that um, he snagged that off of it was like a cash register, or like at the bins they have the cash register and the weigh machine and whatnot. And
Yeah.
it was just hanging off of the counter right there, like somebody had left it or whatever. And he said he just snagged it. I don't know if he paid for it or whatever, but he just snagged it right off of the counter. And nobody saw, nobody was like, that's mine or anything. So he
Well,
just
and that's the
dipped out.
thing. Somebody probably took it up there and just was like, I don't
Like,
want this.
I don't know who this is. They were probably like, I don't know. Cool shirt.
Yeah.
Like, wow. It's the picture. I keep looking over it. I can't believe I haven't showed it. I haven't showed it to you yet. But it's the picture. It's one of the pictures that right before he died, dude. He's all emaciated and whatnot.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why I love the shirt. Well, let's. Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah, I think that's definitely like 96 time frame. I think I remember that. I think that's like 96,
Single boy.
95, 96 time frame. The T-shirt, not the
Probably. I would think. But it's single.
yeah,
It was just right there. It could have been a double any day. Who knows?
yeah.
It's cool though.
Well, listen, one of the things that I'm doing on this, so we'll kind of keep it rolling. So we'll close it out with a PSA, public service announcement. So if you had a chance to just, you know, say something to some kids or people who don't know you or whatever, what would your PSA be?
Okay. Okay. So we're trying to say something to our younger selves, or just the young kids, or is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
yeah, just somebody that doesn't know you, kind of what would your public service announcement be?
Okay. Okay. So it would probably be something like, uh, not to be so cliche and say be true to yourself, but if you don't feel good about something, or you don't, you know, feel like something that you're being made to do or whatever, you have to do this or that. Use uh, Never feel like you're out of options. I guess don't feel like you have to be a certain way, or to do. It's hard for me to sum that up completely, but don't ever feel like you have to do a certain thing unless you really do have to, um, perform a certain role in society, or, whatever. Like fathers have to do what they have to do, but a child growing up, just needs to be a child, until they're not able to anymore.
Yeah,
I think a lot of childhoods have been robbed from people. Kids are just supposed to be kids. I think that they should be able to express themselves fully, to explore certain things, to find out who they are, what makes them who they are, And I think that, especially here in America, in the world that we're in right now, uh, kids are kind of being molded in certain ways, and I was molded a certain way growing up. Like our parents want us to be a certain way sometimes,
yeah,
there's, and with all the toxic parenting out there, without with uh certain ways of raising your kids that you know even could be abusive at times. Kids need to know that they're not out of options,
yeah,
because people are, those kids are in those situations, and they can't necessarily see either a way out or a new way of doing something, or you know what I mean. And I grew up, not we weren't selling things trying to live and this and that. My dad provided everything, and
yeah,
like I didn't know that this was a way to live. I didn't know that there was, a community out there where people were selling stuff and making money. He's happy because everybody's getting what they want.
yeah. So
That's my
you
that
had to,
would be my message. Is that there is another world out there that you don't know about as a kid, and your parents might not even know about it.
yeah,
And that right there is disservice to you as a child, because you're trying to find your way.
So I hope everybody enjoyed that interview with Trent Bruner of Nicely Threaded Thrift. Trent is a great storyteller and he's very passionate about the vintage industry. We got cut off there at the end, but he did get to finish his PSA, and I think he made some good points. I think it's important to write your own story, have your own style, and be true to yourself. So I'll leave everybody with that. Thank you for viewing this, and give us your feedback. Let us know how we can improve and how we can get better at this. I hope everybody's doing well during this quarantine time, and we'll see you next week.